Dear friend, let me ask you something. Just take a few seconds and really think about it. Have you ever felt like you're still you, but somehow your energy just isn't what it used to be? It's not because you're old. It's not because time has taken everything away. The truth is, some of the foods you're eating every single day, foods that seem healthy, heart-friendly, even good for you, might actually be quietly draining the very strength and confidence that make you who you are as a man. I'm Dr. Richard. I'm 60 years old, and for the past 30 years, I've sat across from hundreds thousands of men over 50. I've seen them walk into my office with that look in their eyes, worried, sometimes embarrassed about things they can't even talk about. Low drive, poor circulation, mornings that don't quite start like they used to. But I've also seen those same men walk out with a new spark in their eyes just from making a few small changes to the vegetables on their plate. Yes, you heard that right. There are certain vegetables you should avoid because they mess with your testosterone, inflame your blood vessels, and slowly drain your inner fire. And then there are other veggie simple, familiar ones that can naturally boost blood flow, restore hormone balance, and bring your bedroom confidence back to life. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 vegetables to avoid and 5 you should eat more of fall based on real experience, real patience, and some truly surprising results. So, if you've ever felt like your body just isn't you anymore, stick around. This might just be the first step to getting it back. Vegetable number 1 to avoid: processed corn, the hidden enemy of testosterone and blood flow. Sounds harmless, right? Corn is a household staple, something we've all grown up with. But I'm not talking about that fresh corn on the cob you enjoy at weekend cookouts. I'm talking about processed corn, the industrial kind that sneaks into your food every single day. Things like corn syrup in candy, baked goods, and sodas, corn oil in margarine and salad dressings, cornstarch in sauces, frozen meals, and canned soups. Now, let me tell you a quick story. One of my patients, Robert, 62 years old, told me, "Doc, I've done everything right." He gave up butter and switched to margarine, thinking it was better. He chose low-fat breakfast cereals loaded with corn syrup. He used vegetable oil on his salads. And yet, every morning, he still woke up feeling drained, foggy in the head, achy knees. But most concerning to him, he'd started to lose desire. No more morning spark like he used to have. We ran some blood work. Low testosterone, eye markers of vascular inflammation. And the culprit? Not aging, but chronic, low-grade inflammation driven by corn oil and corn syrup in his everyday meals. You see, processed corn is extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. And when omega-6s aren't balanced with omega-3s, like those in salmon, flax seeds, or walnuts, they fuel silent inflammation inside the body. Imagine a slow-burning fire inside your blood vessels, damaging the endothelium, the inner lining responsible for producing nitric oxide. That's the key molecule your body needs to relax and open up blood vessels, especially to certain areas where circulation matters most. If nitric oxide production drops, blood flow weakens. And if blood can't reach the places it's supposed to, well, you already know how that story ends. So we took Robert off all forms of processed corn. No more corn oil. No more corn syrup. No more packaged snacks. Instead, he started using extra virgin olive oil, eating salmon twice a week, and adding lightly steamed greens to his daily meals. 4 weeks later, he came back to my office, smiling. He said, "Doc, my knees don't ache anymore in the mornings, and this morning I felt something I thought I'd lost for good." So, my friend, if you're using products with corn oil, corn syrup, or healthy cereals every day, take a closer look at the label. Not everything labeled heart healthy is good for the man in you. You don't need to live in deprivation, but you do need to live with awareness. And sometimes, changing just one type of cooking oil can change everything about how alive you feel. Have you ever noticed something like this in your own meals? If so, stick with me. Because I'm about to share 4 more vegetables to avoid and 5 powerful ones that can help restore your vitality. No pills required. Vegetable number 2 to avoid: raw spinach, a superfood that secretly steals your zinc. Now, I know this one might surprise a lot of folks. For years, we've been told that spinach is a superfood, and truth be told, it is a great vegetable when you eat it the right way. I can't tell you how many men over 50 have come into my office absolutely convinced they're doing everything right. Doc, I eat healthy. I follow all the rules. Why do I still feel tired? Why is my desire gone? So I ask them, how do you usually start your morning? And proudly they say, with a green smoothie, lots of raw spinach, bananas, chia seeds. Sounds great on paper. But here's the reality. That very smoothie could be quietly robbing your body of zincone, of the most critical minerals for testosterone production. Let me break it down for you. Raw spinach is high in oxalitesa, natural plant compound that binds to minerals like calcium, magnesium, and especially zinc. Once bound, your body can't absorb them. And zinc isn't just any old nutrient. For men over 50, zinc is the building block your body needs to produce natural testosterone. So every time you sip on a raw spinach smoothie, thinking you're doing your body a favor, you might actually be shutting down your hormone recovery without even realizing it. I remember a patient, William, 67, former marathon runner, extremely disciplined, ate clean, swore by his daily raw spinach smoothie. But he came to me tired, frustrated, low drive, and his labs showed low testosterone and near-depleted zinc levels. He was shocked. Doc, I don't get it. I'm doing everything right. I told him, William, your intentions are good, but the method needs a tweak. So we made one small change. Switched out raw spinach for lightly cooked spinach. His breakfast? A couple of sunny side-up eggs, sautéed mushrooms, and steamed or lightly stir-fried spinach with a touch of olive oil. Boom, no more oxalates getting in the way. Zinc started getting absorbed. Testosterone slowly began to rebound. A month later, he came back to the clinic beaming. He said, Doc, I feel alive again. I'm sleeping better, I've got my drive back, and in the morning I feel like me again. So here's the takeaway, my friend. Vegetables aren't the enemy. But not every vegetable or every way of preparing them is ideal after 50. If you love spinach, steam it, sauté it, or toss it into soup. That one small shift could unlock real recovery for your energy, your hormones, and your confidence. Remember, you don't need to eat more. You just need to eat smarter. And I'm going to keep walking you through how to do exactly that, one vegetable at a time. Vegetable number 3 to avoid: soy and soy-based products, heart healthy but quietly undermining your manhood. This one might surprise you, maybe even sound a bit hard to believe. Soy, harmful? For years, tofu, soy milk, and edamame have been promoted as heart-friendly, plant-based, and overall healthy. And yes, they can be good for the heart. But here's the truth no one tells you. What's good for your heart isn't always good for your testosterone. Let me tell you a story. Jamesa, retired school principal, 68 years old, came to see me. Healthy, disciplined, mostly plant-based diet. Every morning started with a glass of soy milk. Lunch, silken tofu. And he wasn't there for high blood pressure or cholesterol. He looked me in the eye and said, Doctor, I don't feel like a man anymore. I'm tired. I'm sluggish. And when it comes to intimacy, there's just nothing there. We ran tests. Nothing dramatic on the surface. But one number stood out like a red flag. Estrogen was abnormally high, while testosterone had dropped to alarmingly low levels. The reason? Soy. Soy contains phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. In small amounts, it's not a big issue. But when you're consuming it daily, meal after meal, week after week, year after year, your body begins to change. Muscles become softer. Belly fat creeps in, even with regular exercise. Drive and desire start to fade. And slowly, your sexual function becomes unpredictable. I asked James, "Did you know that tofu and soy milk could be the reason behind all this?" He shook his head, stunned. I thought I was eating healthy. So we made a simple plan. Cut out all soy and soy-based products for 30 days. Replace them with clean protein, eggs, organic chicken, lentils. 3 weeks later, he came back. There was light in his eyes, confidence in his voice, and a handwritten note from his wife. "Doctor, thank you for giving me back the man I fell in love with." Now look, I'm not saying soy is poison, but I am saying this. If you're a man over 50 and you've been feeling tired, low on drive, or like you're slowly fading away, soy might not be your friend. And the good news? You can change. No pills, no sacrifices. Just the willingness to notice what's quietly draining your energy and the courage to take it out of your daily routine. Because sometimes, that one quiet change, that's all it takes to start feeling like yourself again. Vegetable number 4 to avoid: canned tomatoes. When convenience becomes a burden on your prostate and male hormones. I get it. A can of tomatoes doesn't exactly scream danger. It's cheap, it's convenient, it's always sitting there in your pantry ready to go for soups, spaghetti sauce, or a quick fish stew. And hey, it's made from tomatoes, right? Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, which is supposed to be great for your heart and prostate. Sounds like a win. But as I always tell my patients, it's not the food itself, it's how it's been processed. One of my patients, Gerald, 64, retired mechanic, was a pretty disciplined eater. Low sugar, no fried food, plenty of veggies. But he came to me complaining of frequent nighttime urination, discomfort in the lower belly, and this heavy, sluggish feeling around his prostate. And intimacy? Practically gone. When I asked about his meals, he said, "I make a lot of homemade soups, dock bean soup, spaghetti sauce, always with canned tomatoes for convenience." And that, my friend, was the silent culprit. Tomatoes themselves? Excellent. Canned tomatoes? A different story. Here's why. During the industrial canning process, the lining inside most cans contains BPA, bisphenol APA, synthetic chemical known to mimic estrogen once it enters your body. Studies show BPA can disrupt your hormonal balance, trigger inflammation in the prostate, and negatively impact testosterone, especially in older men, whose detox systems aren't as efficient as they once were. And it doesn't stop there. Many canned tomatoes are preserved with citric acid to keep the color bright. But long-term consumption of this added acid can irritate your gut lining, reducing your ability to absorb zinc and magnesium, 2 powerhouse minerals for male vitality. I told Gerald to go off canned tomatoes for just 4 weeks. Instead, we used fresh tomatoes, lightly blanched or oven-roasted cherry tomatoes, then mashed by hand into sauce. After 1 month, he came back smiling. He was sleeping better, less nighttime trips to the bathroom, and his words, not mine, "The spark is back, Doc, and this time, I didn't have to force it." He laughed and said, "I thought I was eating clean. I had no idea something so convenient was quietly working against me." You see, sometimes it's the foods we trust the most that quietly dim the flame and stay, especially when we stop paying attention. I'm not saying you need to live like a monk or give up all canned goods. But after 50, your choices need to be a little more refined. If it takes 1 extra minute to prep fresh tomatoes in exchange for a healthy hormonal system, I'd say it's worth it. So, let me ask you, do you use canned tomatoes regularly? If so, try switching to fresh ones for just 2 weeks and pay attention to what shifts inside you. Vegetable number 5 to avoid: baby carrots, sweet and handy, but over, sanitized and quietly disrupting your hormones. I don't know about you, but I used to love baby carrots. You know, the pre-peeled bagged ones that look so clean, so healthy, so convenient. And many of my older patients tell me the same thing. They say, "Doc, I've given up chips and sweets. Now I snack on baby carrots. Low calorie, good crunch." Sounds like a smart swap, right? But there's something you probably haven't heard about those cute little carrots, and that's exactly why I'm sharing this today. Baby carrots aren't actually baby carrots. Most of them are made by cutting down large, imperfect carrots into uniform pieces, then soaking them in a chlorine-based solution to disinfect, preserve the color, and extend shelf life. Here's where the problem begins. Chlorine, even in small amounts, can, over time, disrupt your gut microbiome. It weakens your body's ability to absorb minerals and throws off your hormonal balance. And remember, your gut plays a massive role in producing and regulating key hormones, including those tied to your vitality and libido. One of my patients, Dennis, 66, single, lives alone, told me he eats baby carrots as his go-to snack. "They're easy, feel healthy, and I don't have to cook," he said. But he came in feeling bloated, low mood, and had almost no drive or motivation left. When I asked more about his diet, it turned out he barely ate any cooked vegetables, just packaged raw ones. I advised him to take a break from baby carrots. Instead, we switched to whole carrots, peeled and lightly steamed or sautéed with olive oil. We added probiotics and encouraged more cooked, fiber-rich veggies. 3 weeks later, Dennis came back with a twinkle in his eye. He said, "Doc, I feel clearer. I'm sleeping better. I actually feel like I'm ready to start something new again." See, even one little carrot, when processed too far, can strip away the natural support your body needs to function at its best. The so-called cleanliness of industrial food isn't always the same as true health, especially for your hormones. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying carrots are bad. I'm simply inviting you to go back to what's real, simple, and whole. Choose full-size carrots. Wash them yourself. Peel and steam them. Because nothing is cleaner than what you prepare with your own 2 hands for your body's sake. So there we have it. 5 vegetables that seem healthy, familiar, even friendly, but can secretly drain your testosterone, circulation, and vitality after 50. But in the next part, we're shifting gears. No more warnings. It's time for hope. I'll show you the hidden heroes, 5 powerful vegetables that can restore your strength, rebalance your hormones, and rekindle the fire you thought was fading. Because the truth is, with the right foods, you can still feel strong even after 60. Vegetable number 1 to eat. Beets, the silent warrior that opens your blood vessels and reignites your vitality. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a river, strong, steady, flowing through every tree root and field it touches. That river is your blood, and it fuels every cell in your body, every memory, every moment of desire, every spark of life inside you. But what happens when that river slows to a trickle? Blood doesn't flow like it used to. Your cells don't get the oxygen they need, and the fire within starts to dim so gradually, you don't even notice it. Now here's where beets come in. Simple, deep red, the color of blood itself. And one of the most powerful foods I've found to wake that river back up. Why? Because beets are one of the richest natural sources of nitrous, a compound that turns into nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide is the miracle molecule that relaxes and widens your blood vessels, boosting circulation, lowering blood pressure, and yes, supporting natural performance and arousal. I remember a patient named Thomas, 70 years old, quiet, kind, a retired civil engineer. He came into my office one day and said, almost in a whisper, "I just don't feel like a man anymore, Doc. Everything inside feels dry, lifeless." We ran some tests. No major illness. But what stood out was poor circulation, low blood pressure, and declining testosterone. Instead of reaching for a prescription pad, I reached for beets. I told him, "Thomas, think of it like laying down a fresh layer of pavement for the highways inside your body." We added a small glass of beet juice in the morning, just half a cup. or thinly sliced and roasted with carrots and red onions. 2 weeks later, he came back. His face was brighter. His eyes had a little sparkle. He looked at me and said something he never thought he'd say again. "This morning, I felt something come back to life." Now, the key here is using beets the right way. Skip the canned or pickled kind. High heat and excess salt can destroy the natural nitrates. Instead, go for fresh beets. Lightly steamed, roasted, blended into soups, or juiced in small amounts. You don't need a lot. Just be consistent. Because after 50, you don't need to wait for a health scare to make a change. Start by nourishing your inner river with something as simple, honest, and powerful as a beet. Because your vitality isn't defined by your age, it's defined by how strong your blood flows through you every single day. Vegetable number 2, to eat celery, a natural fuel source for male hormones. There's a question I often ask my male patients over 60. When you walk into a room, what do you want people to feel from you? Confidence? Vitality? Or just a quiet man fading into the background? The answer doesn't always lie in how you speak. Sometimes it's written in your blood specifically, in your hormone levels. Testosterone, fuel that drives male energy and presence, isn't just about desire or endurance. It also shapes your mood, memory, sleep, and the very way you carry yourself. But after 50, natural testosterone levels begin to decline. And unless we support the body, that drop can happen faster than you think. Here's the good news. Nature gives us tools to fight back. And one of the most overlooked tools is celery. Now, I'm not talking about that boring stalk on the side of your salad. Celery is packed with two powerful compounds, androstenone and androstenol natural precursors, that may help your body boost testosterone production. It also contains apigenin, a unique flavonoid that helps protect Leydig cells in your testes. These are the very cells responsible for making testosterone. Let me tell you about Sam, 65, a former athletic coach. After retiring, he told me, "Doc, I just don't feel like doing anything anymore. No drive to work out, no interest in intimacy. It's like I've lost a part of myself." I asked about his diet. He hardly ate any vegetables. And celery? Never touched it. We started with something simple. A small glass of celery juice each morning, blended with a little apple or pineapple for taste. Or stir-fried celery with beef or seafood, tasty, satisfying, and hormone-friendly. 3 weeks later, I got a short message from Sam. Just a few words, but full of meaning. "Doc, I feel like I'm coming back." Now, let me be clear. Celery isn't a magic pill. It doesn't give you instant results. But if you let your body repeat the right things daily, it will reward you with natural, lasting vitality. After 50, you don't need to fight to feel young again. You just need to reconnect with the root hormones that define your spark, your posture, your confidence. And sometimes, one stalk of celery a day can be the first step back to who you truly are. Vegetable number 3 to eat: white mushrooms, the loyal bodyguard of your testosterone. Here's a little known truth. Your body can still produce testosterone after 60. The real problem isn't that you've stopped making it. It's that something inside you is quietly stealing it before your body even gets to use it. That thief's name? Aromatase. It's a natural enzyme in the body, but as you age, especially if you carry belly fat, aromatase activity increases. Its job? To convert testosterone, your core male hormone, into estrogen, a hormone your body needs only in small amounts. So yes, your body may be producing testosterone, but it's getting flipped, swapped, and turned into something that doesn't serve your strength or drive. Now, I want you to remember this simple name. White mushrooms, specifically, the common white button mushrooms you find at any grocery store. They're small, soft, and unassuming. But inside, they hold natural compounds that inhibit aromatase. In other words, White mushrooms don't increase testosterone, but they help you keep what you've already made. Let me tell you about Pete, 67 reals years old. Worked out regularly, took zinc, got to bed early. He was doing all the right things. Still, he came to me and said, "Doc, I know I'm trying, but it feels like something's holding me back. I just don't get it." We ran a hormone panel. Here's what we found. Total testosterone, normal. Free testosterone, low. Estrogen, slightly elevated. Clear signs that his testosterone was being siphoned away by aromatase. It's like earning a paycheck and having someone else swipe your credit card every time. So we made a simple change. Added sautéed white mushrooms with garlic and extra virgin olive oil 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes he'd even slice them raw and drizzle with lemon juice and a bit of sesame oil. A month later, he told me, "I didn't suddenly turn into Superman, but something inside me feels calm again, like when I was 40. My friend, not everything powerful comes in a pill or a gym membership. Sometimes it's as humble as a small plate of mushrooms eaten consistently. That becomes the shield your hormones need against the changes that come with time. You've worked your whole life to build your strength. Don't let it quietly slip away just because no one told you how to protect it. And if your body's still trying, let white mushrooms be the quiet, loyal ally that helps you hold on to what's yours." Vegetable number 4 to eat. Lightly steamed broccoli, a green elixir for hormones and prostate health. I've had countless men over 60 come into my clinic with the same frustration. "Doc, I eat tons of vegetables. So why do I still feel heavy, tired, waking up at night to pee, and don't even get me started on intimacy? It's just not there anymore." So we run the tests, and I see a pattern that's all too familiar. Low testosterone, slightly elevated estrogen, mild inflammation in the prostate. Then I ask about their diet, and sure enough, I hear, "I eat broccoli every night, doc." Now here's the thing, it's not what you eat, but how you eat it. Broccoli is one of the most powerful vegetables for men over 50. It's rich in sulforaphane, a plant compound that helps the liver clear out excess estrogen, fights inflammation in the prostate, boosts natural enzymes that protect your cells from age-related damage. Think of sulforaphane as a silent gatekeeper, keeping your hormones in balance and your cells youthful from the inside out. But here's what most people don't know. Sulforaphane is extremely heat-sensitive. Overcook your broccoli, boil it to death, microwave it too long, and you destroy the very nutrient that makes it so powerful. One patient of mine, Robert, 69, soft-spoken, lives alone, very careful about his diet, told me, "I eat broccoli every night, doc. I microwave it for 5 minutes to get it nice and soft." That right there was the issue. He was eating a superfood turned into a lifeless veggie with all its benefits gone. So we made one small tweak. Steam the broccoli lightly for just 3-4 minutes. Keep it bright green and crisp. Or eat it raw with lemon juice and olive oil. Occasionally, do a quick stir fry with garlic for 2 minutes, just enough to warm it without breaking it down. 2 weeks later, Robert called me, his voice more upbeat than I'd ever heard. "Doc, I don't know how to describe it. I just feel clearer, my stomach's lighter, and I'm finally sleeping deeper again." My friend, broccoli isn't just another vegetable. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, a quiet supporter of testosterone, and a shield for your aging prostate. But only if you treat it right. Only if you prepare it in a way that preserves its power. Because sometimes, it's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And with broccoli, just a little mindfulness in the kitchen could go a long way in restoring how you feel, how you sleep, and how you live. Vegetable number 5 to eat. Red bell peppers, a bright flame for your blood vessels and your spirit. After more than 30 years of working with men between 50 and 80, I've learned something truly powerful. Low vitality isn't just about hormones, it's also about emotion. Have you ever noticed? When your body feels tired, when your circulation slows down, When your mind feels heavy, even your eyes seem to dim. Life starts to feel dull, like the fire inside you is fading. And yet, there's one vegetable shaped like a heart, glowing with vibrant red that has the power to wake that feeling back up. Red bell peppers. Not spicy, not sharp, not hot like chili peppers. Just sweet, crisp, and full of life. A natural gift packed with vitamin C, beta-carotene, and powerful antioxidants. Now, most people think vitamin C is just for immunity. But here's what they don't know. Vitamin C also protects your blood vessel walls, boosts collagen production, and supports the elasticity of tiny blood vessels, especially the ones responsible for healthy circulation in intimate areas. Let me tell you about Richard, 72 years old. He came to me and said, "Doc, I don't feel tired. I just feel nothing, like there's no spark in me anymore." He had no major health issues, no pain, just emptiness, a lack of energy, inspiration, and flow. And I noticed something right away. His meals were colorless, pale, lifeless. I told him, "Let's start adding red to your plate, not just for looks, but to bring your blood and your mood back to life." So we began with simple things. Roasted red bell peppers with olive oil, light stir-fries, or fresh slices in salads, paired with avocado and leafy greens. After just 10 days, he looked brighter. He said, "Doc, I don't know how to explain it. I feel lighter, happier, like there's sunlight inside me." My friend, after 50, sometimes what you need isn't a pill, but a meal that makes you feel alive again. Red bell peppers do that, not just because they're nutritious, but because they awaken something inside. A brightness in your blood, a joy in your spirit. So now, we've walked through 5 humble yet powerful vegetables, no hype, no flash, just quiet strength. Beets, awaken your circulation. Celery, fuel your testosterone. White mushrooms, protect your hormones from silent sabotage. Broccoli, fight inflammation and balance your system. Red bell peppers bring warmth to your blood and light to your heart. Dear friend, growing older isn't about fading away. It's an invitation to live smarter, clearer, and more consciously than ever before. And if you begin bite at a time, one meal at a time, the fire inside you can come roaring back. Because age doesn't define your power. How you nourish it does. We've just walked through 5 vegetables to avoid and 5 you should embrace. Not to make you feel restricted. Not to force you into deprivation. But to help you better understand your body and reconnect with the strength that's always been within you. Because after 50, health isn't a matter of luck anymore, it's a matter of choice. Every bite you take will either nourish you quietly or wear you down, little by little. And every day you choose to eat right and live with intention, you're sending your body a message. I still want to live fully. Aging is not the end of your story. It's a new chapter where you have permission to slow down, but also to live more deeply. Where something as small as a stalk of celery, a slice of beetroot, or a dish of white mushrooms could be the key that unlocks your energy, your confidence, and your peace of mind. If today's message spoke to you, click like to let me know I'm on the right path. Subscribe so you won't miss upcoming videos, because I'll be back with more natural health secrets that no pill can replace. And if you know someone, a friend, a loved one, who may be quietly struggling with these same changes, share this video with them. Because who knows, just one video might be what helps them feel like themselves again. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, wishing you a day full of energy and a life that shines brightly from the inside out.